Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan. We're here from Snarful Solutions Group, ready to break down the tech news that matters.
We are indeed. It's Wednesday, July 30, 2025, and we're coming to you from Sacramento, California.
That's right, sunny Sacramento. Looks like a high of 89 degrees today. Beautiful weather here.
It really is. Just a quick note before we get started, though, on the bigger picture. We are watching that developing tsunami situation in the Pacific Basin.
Yeah, following a pretty strong earthquake, warnings and advisories are out for Hawaii, parts of Alaska, Guam, American Samoa, and the West Coast here, too. Just something to be aware of.
Definitely. Okay, let's look at the markets quickly. Yesterday's close.
Yeah.
Saw a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, nothing too dramatic, but the Dow Jones closed down about 0.16% for the day. That's down 0.76% for the week.
And the S&P 500.
Also a slight dip, down just 0.03% daily and 0.29% weekly.
Okay. And Bitcoin.
Bitcoin followed suit, down 0.11% on the day and 0.83% over the week. So yeah, a little red across the board.
A bit of red, but, we stay positive. Mostly. Although, I gotta say, talking sports, the Giants game yesterday.
Oh, don't remind me. That was, a tough loss to the Pirates. 1-3.
1-3.
Braxton Ashcraft got the win for Pittsburgh. And Tommy Pam just seemed to have our number, went 3 for 4.
Yeah, frustrating is the word. Well, hopefully they bounce back.
Fingers crossed. Okay, but let's shift gears. Time to talk tech.
All right, let's jump into our first story from the Morning Star. That's our internal Snarful Tech article report, bringing you the key tech news.
And today we're connecting some really interesting dots, starting with a pretty significant move down under.
That's right. Story number 1, Australia. They're expanding their social media ban for kids under 16. And the big news here, they're now including YouTube.
Which is a reversal, right? They initially left YouTube out.
Exactly. They reversed that decision. This whole thing is set to kick in this December.
And it sounds like it might not just stay in Australia. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, he's suggesting this could have a global ripple effect.
Yeah, he mentioned New Zealand is watching closely, maybe considering similar bans. He called it a common experience, dealing with social media's impact on young people.
So the idea is protection. But how they plan to enforce it, that's where it gets tricky, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. They're talking about age verification methods like facial analysis, tracking online metadata too.
Facial analysis, wow. Okay, you can already hear the alarm bells ringing.
Right. Critics are immediately calling it a major attack on individual privacy. And, there are big questions about collecting kids' facial images.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even develop that kind of tech accurately without a massive data set of kids' faces? Which, as you'd expect, is currently illegal. It's a real privacy versus protection headache.
And the government's justification, the initial one anyway, was that social media is causing social harm. They linked it to mental health.
Sure, that's the stated reason. But there are other perspectives emerging, suggesting it's maybe not that simple.
Like what?
Well, some are arguing that, maybe the rise in youth mental health issues isn't just social media's fault. It could be tied to bigger social issues, tougher living conditions.
And social media just reflects that, or maybe even amplifies it.
Exactly. It acts more like a mirror in that view. And some critics are even suggesting, well, maybe the ban is also partly about controlling information flow.
Restricting access to maybe anti-establishment views that young people find online, bypassing mainstream news.
It's a thought some are putting out there, especially since this is the first ban like this in what's termed a democratic country. Though similar ideas are popping up elsewhere.
Where else?
We're seeing moves in the UK, Ireland, Singapore, Japan. It definitely feels like a trend.
And you've got groups like UNICEF and Headspace, the Mental Health Foundation, actually raising concerns too.
Right. They're worried it could cut kids off from connecting with family and friends online, which is, important for development.
And what about YouTube itself? They can't be happy.
No, they're pushing back. The e-safety commissioner pointed to stats about kids seeing online hate there, like 37% of 10 to 15-year-olds.
But YouTube's counter.
They're saying, 69% of parents find it suitable and that the commissioner's advice is, quote, inconsistent. So lots of disagreement.
It just puts parents in such a tough spot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Balancing safety with connection, access to information. kids are going to find ways around things too.
It absolutely adds a whole new layer for families and huge pressure on tech companies for verification while, opening up these massive privacy questions for everyone.
Yeah, definitely a lot to unpack there for, well, everyone involved. Okay, let's switch gears though, from policy changes to, well, a tech talent war.
Absolutely. Our next story from the Morning Star digs into the AI talent race. It seems to be heating up, and Apple might be feeling the heat.
Yeah, this one's pretty eye-opening. Meta is apparently poaching top AI people from Apple. Really aggressive.
It's aggressive.
Well, Bowen Zhang is the fourth researcher to leave Apple's Foundational Models Group, that's their core AI team, for Meta's new Superintelligence labs. And that's just in the last month.
Fourth in a month. Wow, that's a serious brain drain.
It really is. And reports are calling this a fierce, high-stakes talent war in the Valley. Meta seems to be just opening the checkbook.
Leveraging immense financial resources, as they say. I saw a figure mention something about the former head of Apple's AI group.
Ruming Pang. Yeah, the reported offer from Meta was, get this, $200 million.
200 million. Okay. That explains a lot. It shows just how critical they think winning this talent race is.
And it really shines a light on maybe some vulnerability at Apple right now in AI. There's talk of systemic turmoil in their AI division.
Morale issues.
Apparently plummeting. It's not just the money, though that's a big part, with Apple's pay bumps called marginal compared to Meta's staggering offers. It's also strategic uncertainty. Well, engineers are reportedly questioning Apple's actual commitment to building its own AI in-house, especially with all the rumors about them maybe using OpenAI's tech for Siri eventually.
Okay, so if you're a top AI engineer there and you're seeing rivals offer huge sums and maybe a clearer in-house strategy, you might be tempted to jump ship.
Exactly. And it's not just about people leaving. There seem to be technical hiccups, too.
Like the Siri delays.
Yeah, those advanced Siri features. Pushed back to spring 2026 now. Reports say it needs a whole V2 architectural rebuild because the first attempt was apparently a, quote, wreck.
Ouch. So it sounds like they're scrambling a bit, both on talent and tech, and that directly affects what we get as users, right? The cool AI features we're waiting for.
Totally. It's like a sports team trying to build a dynasty, but the richest team keeps buying your best players before you can even get them on the field.
And Meta's strategy seems pretty clear: buy or poach, especially after their own big AI model, Llama 4, apparently didn't perform as expected.
Right. And they tried to buy some startups, but got turned down. So they created this new lab, MSL, and are just staffing it with poached all-stars.
And this isn't just an Apple Meta thing, is it? It's hitting others, too.
No, it's industry-wide. OpenAI is reportedly boosting stock compensation like crazy, over $4.4 billion trying to keep their people from leaving, too.
So the takeaway for us, really, is that this behind-the-scenes battle for engineers, it's directly shaping how quickly AI develops and, frankly, which company's AI is going to be powering our lives soon.
It really feels like whoever wins this talent war could define the next big phase of tech.
It definitely seems that way. Meta's playing hardball. And speaking of Meta, their CEO has an even grander vision. That's our final story.
That's right. Mark Zuckerberg isn't just talking about catching up in the AI race. He's aiming for something he calls personal superintelligence.
Personal superintelligence. Okay, what does that actually mean?
Well, first off, he's backing it with staggering investment. We're talking hundreds of billions going into building absolute massive AI data centers.
Like these named projects, Prometheus and Hyperion.
Exactly. Prometheus is due in 2026. Hyperion is aiming for 5 gigawatts of power capacity. That's enormous. Enough to power a small country.
5 gigawatts, just for AI data centers. Okay, so the goal justifies that kind of spend.
You think so? The goal is this personal superintelligence AI that's smarter than humans, but crucially focused on solving your daily problems for individual users.
Okay, so that sounds different from, say, building one giant AI for everyone or AI just for businesses. It's more bespoke.
Yeah, that seems to be the angle. Zuckerberg calls it potentially the most important technology in our lives. He sees it powering everything from Meta's current stuff like recommendations and ads to something much bigger.
And that bigger thing involves glasses.
Smart glasses. That's the key piece of the vision. He believes context-aware smart glasses that, quote, see what you see and hear what you hear will be the ultimate device for this personal AI.
The best form factor for AI, he called it.
Right. And not just for AI, but potentially the next major piece of consumer hardware after the smartphone.
Whoa! Okay, so this is Meta's big bet to leapfrog the smartphone era, maybe break free from Apple and Google's control over apps.
That seems to be the strategic play. It's incredibly ambitious, replacing the phone with glasses.
If that actually happens. I mean, think about the implications for daily life, privacy, work. Everything changes if your glasses are your computer.
It really does. And it ties back to the last story, right? This huge spending, the talent poaching, it's all part of this massive gamble. Meta feels it has to win, especially after their own AI model apparently stumbled.
It paints a picture of a company absolutely determined not to miss the next big platform shift.
So imagine that future for a second. You wake up, put on your glasses, and that's it. That's your connection, your assistant, your window to everything. Is that exciting or terrifying?
Maybe a bit of both. The idea of seamless context-aware help is appealing, but glasses that constantly see and hear everything, the privacy questions are just immense. It would completely rewire our relationship with tech.
It really would. So let's recap quickly. We talked about Australia's widening social media ban, now including YouTube, and all the privacy versus protection issues that raises.
Then we looked at the intense AI talent war, with Meta aggressively poaching from Apple, potentially impacting the future of AI on our devices.
And finally, Zuckerberg's huge bet on personal superintelligence delivered through smart glasses, aiming to replace the smartphone altogether.
3 big stories, all showing how quickly the tech landscape is shifting and raising some fundamental questions about control, privacy, and our digital future.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think about how much we integrate this tech into our lives and what the trade-offs really are as AI gets more powerful.
It's that balance between convenience and connectivity versus, well, what we might be giving up in terms of personal space and privacy. Something to keep pondering.
We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.